So the hystoglyph, whatever, that was in fact a good idea to explain it in this way, we think, but we will try to explain it again. Meaning, how it works is basically you form a letter in your mind, meaning like something like the K. You of course immediately think about the H, because the H is what the hystoglyph starts with. Try to think about a different letter from the starting of the letter that is the hystoglyph between the H. Now disassemble the alphabetical order. Disassemble the alphabetical order till it arrives at some point where you form a root from the idea that is the hystoglyph. Now, your goal is basically to ensemble the K to every idea that the fire burns away. Meaning, the fire show what is the fire in de-imaginating something, what is not of root, meaning what is not of what you envision the K to become in every part of what you would assemble it to. Meaning, if you have a lake, you have one water drop, that is the K, and the lake around it is the root. And from that, you then draw something to the alphabetical non-order. So how does the hystoglyph work exactly? That's the problem. It's better explained in a long video that is actually very drawn out and very carefully spoken. But why is it different from a siglyph or a sigil or a seal or anything like it? Because there you just make the letter be more of a framed idea or something like it. The hystoglyph basically works different. Step 1, take the letter. Step 2, draw a root around it. The root is just a metaphor. I like forest. So the forest around the K is what is supposed to be then the root, or what forms it. Now, how do you form the root? No. Wow, I said well, so well, no. You don't form the root from the K or from the forest. Meaning, the idea for the hystoglyph is then step 1. Take the letter. Imagine the K. Not a person, nothing like it. Now, take your idea of what the root is with the K. And don't do something that encircles the letter, but makes the letter K be in such an order that has no alphabetical strain to any of it. Then, furthermore, make the root be assembling what is not the K. Meaning, what will burn out the K to the degree where the root resembles what is not the letter. This is also not a reverse siglyph or anything of it, because how does it work? Well, it works in such a way that you prevail the K by understanding the element of forest and how it would root, basically, the letter in its idea to non-existence. It's an example of this magical tool. Now, this would be very easily done if you can really easily explain that in short words like this, right? But like this you don't really know how to do it. So the longer video I think is better. But we do this short video for a reason, because if you watched any of the videos with process or something like it, I might have an idea right now to explain a short idea for process, which was maybe planned like this. So how would you do that in a processed way? Well, first, take the letter. Imagine the letter as non-being of imagination. Don't let your mind be straight. Understand that the root is what will derive the letter to its fulfillment of anything that is what the letter will never become, and what the letter is not, and what doesn't encircle the letter and also doesn't work with it. Now, understand that the negation of the letter is encircled in the development of the root. Draw the roots from the letter in such a way that you like it, meaning any kind of tree meaning any kind of root, any kind of leaf, any kind of branch, any kind of rage, but not rage in an anger sense. Don't get angry if it doesn't work, because magic sometimes fails what you cannot do. No one can teach it to you in this way in shell mode. It's magic. You shall learn it, but not shall learn it. If you want to learn it, you need to accept failure, and the guru is bad. I don't know any guru. So, then take the letter to any idea of whatsoever is to be discussed in the assemblement of what is the root to become by the letter, but not of what the letter is, but what you did circle the letter with. Now, take the root to assemble or rewrite or re-vary on how any further element can interact with the non-existence of the letter. Try to vary the letter to this idea of what the root is. Project that root around the letter while making the letter be stable. And do all of that while you understand that the letter is of non-existence, but the root shall be of same kind. That's basically what a hystoglyph is. So how can you achieve this? And that's the problem. It's magic. This is a spiritual concept of magic. It's fairly difficult to explain in simple words. That's why the 20 minutes video. Well, there's more to the hystoglyph than that, though. You cannot envision the sky, the surroundings, or something to draw the roots. You need to understand that the manifestation comes from the inner power of the letter that you ascribe to the letter, but not by interpretation of the world. Meaning, if you have the K, for example, you can think katana. If you have the letter H, you cannot think the obvious thing. If you have the letter X, you cannot think about anything. Usually, you can think about the S word, but usually you cannot think about anything. If you have X, you just think two letters, two lines. X is X. Now, that is not a good idea for the hystoglyph, though, because our letters have a variation by alphabet. That's why I said, derive the alphabetical order of letters away from the letter. This is also what the hystoglyph will do once you achieved it. Now, the more important problem is that if you try to do this, the basic fundamental explanation is envision the letter, take the power of the letter that you ensemble, meaning subscribe and write it to. To negate that power that the letter has for you. Draw the roots in such a way that it resembles your thought process of that negation, but only to holding the thought of when the letter becomes destabilized by drawing the root in its core essence of view or power. Take that letter and further go on with this process till you have the roots resemble something of sort that you now have the energy not in the roots that you ascribed and subscribed to the letter and you saw in the letter manifesting. So example, if you envision X in your mind, you should see a strong light coming from it or strong darkness or anything that is of such sort. You should have a strong view on it. Oh, not really. Now, if you the X is also not good because you cannot draw many roots from it. It's basically a zero letter. It basically means zero. X means zero. Basically. So the process is very well explained in the 20 minutes video, and this is the best you can basically do. Take the letter, negate the step, negate the energy, try to imagine a root from this negation of the energy, make it stabilize in the manifestation of the letter by drawing further root from it, and then take what is this root and understand how it interacts and would interact with other letters and what sentences it forms by abstraction that you just meditate on. But not imagining. Meaning you need to, while doing that, control your imagination about people and surroundings. What can you do to control imagination? You can paint images in your mind. If you see something, you can paint an image. You can go through a hypothetical scenario, but that should be last resort. And not disassembling yourself, disintegrating your body or your being or your energy or anything of it. And you